Hello all, welcome back. Going to visit Kate Bush today with Army Dreamers, and it's actually from Armin's channel. He's done the heavy lifting, he's redone the audio, so please guys, go and have a listen on his channel, go and listen to it in its own entirety, give him a subscribe, because he's done the heavy lifting, yeah, and it's only right. So, Army Dreamers, not a long song, 3 minutes. I was serving as a soldier when this came out, and most of Kate Bush's stuff came out when I was serving with a soldier. And there's a few things here that I know people have talked about in the past. I've read vlogs years ago when this song's been talked about, and it baffles me what people have got to say, including some ex-soldiers who've posted on there. Contentious? No. Just, I'll explain why. So let's get into the song. I'll do a little bit, but basically listen to most of the song till the end, and then I'll give you my thoughts, and it's just my honest opinion. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. I do give you some sort of backup into what I think are the contentious things in here that people have said about this song. Not contentious in a bad way. Yeah, contentious. Just probably factually incorrect. Yeah. And that's just me. So, yeah, I'll probably get told off for this at some point. But here it is. It's Army Dreamers, Kate Bush.
A bunch of paper flowers to decorate to Mammy's hero. Morning in the aerodrome, the weather warm, the heat is colder. For her men in uniform to carry home that little soldier.
I'll pull it back. So, I know people have often are quoting, what does BFPO mean? And I served for nearly 9 years, and there's two things I can tell you. It can mean what you want it to mean. I don't kind of care what you want it to mean. What it would mean among soldiers is quite simply. So, for example, when I was serving in the Falklands, you get what's called blueies. And blueies are international airmail that's free, paid for, postage. So if you're serving overseas as a soldier in the British Army, man, woman, cat, dog, doesn't matter, you send a bluey and it gets to you, it's paid for by the armed services. So you get free mail. Okay, there are no BFPO numbers for the mainland United Kingdom postings, right? So if it is, as people say, British Forces Post Office, which it may technically be, it actually means to most soldiers British Forces posting overseas, because that's where the mail gets sent to. That's where he's returning from in the song, from BFPO. It's just the blueies. Yeah, and I always believed it was British Forces posting overseas. It makes the most sense. The British military has a postal sort in place. Not going to say where it is. And each unit, big units, will have a postie who delivers your mail. Both mainland UK mail and if you're abroad, your blueies, or if they've been posted by stamps, combinations arrive. When you get posted overseas, when I was caught sent to the Falklands, you could send a number of blueies home. And I can't quite remember if you were only allocated like so many, because of the cost implication. But that's what would happen. You'd send them home to your family and they could send you blueies. That's what they called blueies, because they were blue. And they'd seal them and it would have a BFPO number. It might well be a post office allocation number, but we always talked about as being referred to as British Forces posting overseas. Yeah, because you had BFPS, British Forces, the television. So it is just that. British Forces Post Service, British Forces posting overseas. So that clears that up. For me, personally, I draw a line under it because I don't see how it makes any other sense. So let's hear the rest of the song and talk about what I felt as a soldier at the time when I heard it, what other people did, miss things about why people join the army and it's a waste of life and all those things, all valid if that's your held opinion. But there's more to it than that. Let's hear all of the song. I'll pull it back, yeah, and then I'll talk about my views as an ex-soldier. Yeah.
Little army boy is coming home from BFP. We've a bunch of paper flags to decorate to Mammy's hero. Morning in the aerodrome, the weather warm, he's colder. For a man in uniform to carry home that little soldier.
Pretty dude should have been a rock star.
But he didn't have the money for a good
Pretty
time.
dude should have been a politician.
But he never had a proper education.
Should have been a father.
But he never even made it to his 20s. What a waste, army dreamers. Ooh, what a waste of army dreamers. Tears are a tin box. Jesus Christ, he wasn't to know. Like a chicken with a fox, he couldn't win the winner to go.
There's been a lot said, and I can't remember at the time. This song was one of many that was banned by the censorious BBC, and that's their choice. But I can tell you now, it was never banned in the British Army. The British Army never told us what songs we couldn't listen to. You know, it was things like Level 42. There was lots of songs that were anti-war, anti-capitalistic, that you would go, whatever you were listening to in the public domain, I guarantee you as soldiers, we were listening to it too. We're not just mindless drones walking around with guns, waiting to be told what to do next. We were living perfectly reasonable lives, you know, social life, music. You know, we were influenced just by, you know, I remember when I joined up Human League, there was the big album, and everyone was listening to it. It was round, and it was Level 42 was on, and whoever else was on, and U2, and all those things. They were equally as popular amongst us. We're not just this homogenous group of drones that follow this lifestyle that we want to be part of, without the choice or without the education or without this and without that. Simply, there'll be elements of that are true, but to give it the homogeneity of, well, he didn't have a choice, he joined the army, that's not true. That's just not true. Not from my perspective. And I think it can also be proven to be objectively not true. Yeah, but anyway, I'm not against the song, so let's hear the rest of it.
Look at the pickle fips and give him all his strips and ribbons. Though he's sitting in his home, he waits his wife buttons and bows.
Pretty dude should have been a rock star.
But he didn't have the money for a guitar.
Should have been a politician.
But he never had a proper
Pretty
education.
dude should have been a father.
But he never even made it to his 20s. What a waste, army dreamers. Oh, what a waste of army dreamers. Oh, what a waste of all that army dreamers. Army dreamers. Army dreamers.
The click click of the rifle. It's cool, right? It is a good song. It's got good rhythm. It's got good rhyme. It's got challenges to it built into the lyrics. Let's finish it. Now, A lot of online chatter about the song is about Northern Ireland. Whatever, doesn't really matter. The song is an anti-war song. Great. If you're anti-war, and trust me, I'm not pro-war. You know, I don't like the idea of people dying for some sort of geopolitical stance that doesn't make sense, but I'm not either. I don't have the intelligence to wrap my head around that, and I choose not to. Do I agree with Kate Bush that she's singing about a wasted life? In that singular instance, yes, she's singing about a wasted life. And she offers up what could he do? He should have been a rock star, but didn't have the money for a guitar. Guitar? When did I become Dixieslander? But he never had a proper education. So is she talking about working class people who just are cannon fodder for the British military? You could argue, if you were being pessimistic. But he'd even make it to his 20s. What could he do? Should have been a father. She's talking about lack of choice through social climate at the time, and this is the 80s. And yeah, probably there was a lack of choice for a lot of young men and women, because I think people forget there's women in the army as well. Lots of them who go into combat zones. Tears or a tin box, what a waste, army dreamers, like a chicken with a fox. If the song is anti-war, that's absolutely right, and I liked it. And like I've said, no British soldier was told what they could and couldn't listen to. The BBC tried it, but we were still listening to it. I don't remember people running around in my accommodation, get that off, get that off. And the army does educate you. Does it educate you in the ways of combat and war? Yeah, it does. But it has medics and doctors and nurses and opticians and all sorts, a self-sustaining thing. If you're not for the army, then you're not for the army. And that's absolutely your right. And I support it. And I wouldn't even debate it because it's a clear ideological choice. Don't like the army, war's not good. Absolutely stick to it. But for this song to confuse people who make a choice to join the army with people who don't have a choice other than to join the army is too simplistic. She's talking about somebody whose social upbringing gave him no choice from a singular perspective, and that the mother was the victim of that lack of choice. But if you wanted to create a backstory that you could make up, what was his ambitions? What were the choices? Why didn't he have a guitar? Why didn't he have an education? I don't know. Maybe it was societal failure. God knows there's enough of it around the world for everybody to have a cup of tea on. But it's still a good song. And it challenges you and it has this discussion. Yeah. And we never got told not to listen to it. Because if it was that explosive a narrative, what you'd think, censorious would happen within the green uniform. And it just didn't. I don't remember it ever happening. We had certain things we weren't allowed to do. But it was limited within most reasons the scope of the law. It's a great song. She's made beautiful music all of her musical career, and I'm glad that she became part of the zeitgeist again with what's it called, that TV show, Run Up That Hill. I didn't jump on then because I didn't want to. There was no need for me to join in that welcome back to Kate Bush. I always knew who she was. She chose not to be in the limelight. She first met up with Dave Gilmour and that originally in her original production, so that's kind of cool. She had serious musicians. She's a serious songwriter, and long may she want to do this. But let's not confuse this song with everyone's reality, because it's not. Yeah, it's about a singular instance that could be applied to more than one person, and how the army recruits mindless drones. Yeah. Everybody recruits people, and you have to have a way in. I don't know how it works with the police, the fire service, hospitals, or with working in marketing, or working in politics, or working wherever you work, supermarkets, animal husbandry. Everyone has to give you something. They have to sell you the dream, either a great wage or a great vocation, or a great vocation and a great wage. We're all at the same thing. So, will everyone go mad at me for this? I actually like the song. I just don't like the premise that other people have attached to it. Yeah? Or may have attached to it. So, keep your comments respectful, guys. I respect your opinion. If you disagree with me, let me know. But just don't tell me I'm wrong. Because I won't tell you you're wrong. You may disagree with me, but it's my own subjective viewpoint based on experience, based on looking at the song, and that's all I've got to give you. And I do think Kate Bush is great, and I will be returning to her because some of her songs are just stunning, as is this one. Yeah. Okay, guys, take care, join in, see you next time. That was Kate Bush with Army Dreamers. Take care for now. Bye.